Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fastest moving hour and a half you'll ever want to spend on the IWC, on professional wrestling on YouTube. My name is Johnny Bottles. Welcome to the Square Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. The man to my left is Dr. Don Wayne. You know him as @Bust and Move. He's the neckbeard psychologist on the Twitterverse, the Tweeter, the Twix, whatever you want to call it. I don't call it X anymore. Don, it's been a weird week.
Whoa, pal. Whoa. So weird in so many ways. Last night, the entire Neckbeard universe has to now get new tarps because the artist formerly known as Tony Storm came down in the tightest butt-showing reveal ever, and that's all I've seen on my timeline on Twitter all day was the Neckbeards losing their shit. To the point where Bubba Ray Dudley finally had to say, go out and touch a real boob and stop fucking fawning over these women. I mean, seriously, man, it's sad.
He's got away with words.
I called Sam's Club today just to see if I could get some lotion for the bathroom. They're like, nah, man, we sold out. I said, I'm not.
Sold out of lotion.
We're done.
Well, if you go on AEWshop.com, you'll get a deal, a package deal.
By the way, I want to give Bottles a shout out for the artwork today. We got together last night and we said, there's something there with the puppet. How do we put this together? It's the most over part of the AEW show last night, which we will talk about in great depth to my angst. I am very happy to be here.
Don said the puppet's more over than Mercedes Moné. So we just took it from there. It was the high point of the show for a lot of people, the puppet. And, well, no, I'm sorry. The high point of the show was Tony Storm's ass. The second highest point of the show was the puppet.
For me, it was still the puppet. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button if you're first time here. We appreciate you guys and gals being here. Super Chat's open. There's a few things going on this week inside the wrestling world, and some of it's really weird. Mm-hmm. I guess I want to start off with Dave Meltzer and the. He's just tweeting himself into shambles right now.
He's in shambles.
He really is. He got the entire Alexa Bliss story wrong. He's now coming back. And by the way, if you don't know who Dave Meltzer is, he's a scam artist. He used to actually be a really reputable wrestling journalist that has now turned into the ultimate AEW fanboy. Everything they do, he finds no ill with. He can never appreciate what's going on in WWE. And this is sort of where I'm at with this is he had been saying for a long time that Alexa Bliss was definitely not coming back. She would not be at the Royal Rumble. None of this was going to happen. They were so far apart on a contract that it was absolutely absurd. There's no way it's going to happen. Brother Fluff says last night the Neckbeards caused it to be called All
Wrestling. You son of a bitch. I wish I would have thought of that.
Good Lord, Brother Fluff.
Good
Lord. Thank you for the super chat. We will lead that one up there. But Alexa Bliss isn't coming back. Of course she comes back, and the next day, of course, is Dave Meltzer goes back to Old Reliable Bottles.
What's that?
Plans change. I mean, they put this together at the last minute. So Alexa Bliss made sure she was in phenomenal shape, had new ring gear, made sure it looked amazing, and came out and looked like $1 million because she hasn't been preparing. She hasn't been getting ready. This was all just thrown together at the very last minute. I'm supposed to believe that.
He said Saturday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, they were faxing back and forth. Who faxes nowadays? They were faxing back and forth contracts. And she signed the contract, then sent it back to him, jumped on a plane, Don, with ring gear that was ready, and rolled into Indianapolis to be at the Royal Rumble.
It just looked like $1 million. I mean, I can't believe that she put that together at the last second.
It's amazing
to me.
Amazing stuff.
The amount of shit that falls out of his mouth.
The hair dye. It's the hair dye rotting his brain. It's getting to him, Don.
How could you even put this out there? It's beyond me. But he didn't stop there. Oh, no. Dave Meltzer couldn't stop there. Why would he, after all? If you're going to go full idiot mode, push all your chips into the table and go complete and total meltdown on the moron scale. And he did. He topped himself. Dave Meltzer came out on his own show this week and said, anybody can book WWE right now. It's not that hard. The company's on autopilot. I don't know why anybody thinks it's a big deal. It's too easy to book that show right now.
He's so hurt. His feelings are so hurt that the company that he might allegedly have stock in AEW. He might be a 3% investor. That's the theory that's going around.
Right.
So, Dirty Dave Meltzer, he's got sour grapes on the fact that WWE is up and AEW is down.
Thank you again, Brother Fluff.
Yes, Brother Fluff. BFS.
Here's my whole thing. To simply sweep it away like it's no big deal with what WWE is doing is the most irrational thought process I've ever seen. When we started doing this show, they were just now starting to pick themselves up by the bootstraps. It wasn't a great show a couple of years ago.
No.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't.
WWE was in the muck for a long time. They have put together, it looks easy right now because they have put together so many intriguing storylines because they have picked up Tony Khan's mistakes, a la Cody Rhodes, a la CM Punk. Oh, you don't want this $1 million talent? We'll gladly take him and incorporate him into our storyline. You don't want this one over here? We'll take that one too. We'll take every piece of these people that you don't see the star in, and we're going to show you why you're a shitty booker, Tony Khan. And it drives Dave Meltzer insane. We're going into WrestleMania and literally have no idea what we're going to get into. We really don't. And I want to talk about that in a minute, but it's just...
We have no idea what the matches are going to be. Some people say they know what the matches are going to be. They don't know what the matches are going to be. You can't convince me there's going to be a three-way of Reigns and Rollins and Punk. You can't convince me of that.
You mean that there's not going to be?
They're saying that's what the one of the main events on one of the nights is going to be. Reigns, Rollins, Punk in a three-way match. And you can't convince me of that. I don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen at all.
Well, again, I'm going to have to ride this out, pal, because I have no idea either. I hope I get to see CM Punk in the main event. I hope I get to see Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns one-on-one. That's sort of what I'm hoping for because they do have a history and they've got a long story. But back to Meltzer, just coming completely unglued and saying that anybody can book WWE. Triple H and his booking committee, whoever they might be, have put this company in such a position that they're getting over any and everybody that they push behind. It's just been amazing to watch. They're doing a great job. And I just want to come out and say that first because he's out of his freaking mind.
Absolutely. If he's out of his mind over the booking of WWE and the trajectory, the downhill trajectory of AEW, what do you think Tony Khan's doing right now? He's got to be losing it. The Australian show's just a wreck. It's a wreck. It's a mess. They've got a week to this Australian show. And it's a disaster already. You know what most of the matches are going to be. They've been announced.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, last night didn't help, especially that tag team match. I'm going to talk about that in a little while. That tag team match did not help. I'm sorry.
The Hounds of Hell?
Yeah.
The Hounds of Hell versus...
the dogs at the door.
The dogs at the door. The dogs at the door versus Moley Nose and...
yes.
Kyle Fletcher. Killer Kyle.
Denisha Lade, thank you for the 10 spot. Hey, Donna Bottles. Grand Slam looks like a disaster. TK scam people out of show on tickets. It's sad that there's no free refund. TK buried Swerve. That's just sad. Even since his lost his belt, TK made him lackluster or less important. I cannot disagree.
Can't disagree there.
It's made him look lackluster.
Can't disagree there. They did the job last night for somebody. So,
which we're going to get into.
But how can he not offer refunds for the show, Don?
I don't get that either. Like, that's sort of weird to me. You promised the stadium show. Now it's not a stadium show. And if that's why you bought the tickets, because you had the feeling that this might, and look, they never announced this as a pay-per-view, and I'm not going to say they did. But when you book a stadium show, the feeling is it's going to be a pay-per-view eventually if you can sell enough tickets. That's sort of why these people bought in. But the other part of this is, why are you putting on a show in a country where you have no television?
Right.
Just none of it makes sense. This is all bad ideas 101. Bad ideas 101 starring Tony Khan.
Pretty much all the bad ideas come from Tony Khan. All of them. The other guys that are booking, RJ City came up with the Tony Storm, timeless Tony Storm angle and took it where he took it. And they should let him book some more of the other things on the show, or at least be a supervisor of continuity.
Get someone to help you with this because you are out of your mind right now.
Right. It's a guy who's lays there in bed at night. You know, it'd be a cool match. And
that's what he does.
Yes, he writes it down on a piece of paper. Not how do we get to that? How do we get there?
It's like when Jerry Seinfeld used to say he'd wake up in the middle of the night with a joke that he thought was funny and write it down. And then when he would read it the next day, I was like, what the hell was I thinking? I can barely even read this as it is. This sucks. That's sort of where he goes with that. So we're going to talk about that plenty in a minute.
Here's what's going. Here's an example of his booking. Okay.
Save that before we start talking about the show.
No. This has got nothing to do with the show. It's got something to do with a different show. Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is on right now.
What?
Ring of Honor is on right now on Honor Club TV.
Oh, okay. Stop, man.
Which it really isn't TV. It's the internet show.
It's the internet show.
Yes, through their website that you have to pay like $15 a month for. It's the Outrunners, Don, and the Dark Order versus grizzled young veterans and premier athletes, whoever they are.
I've heard of a couple of those teams. I didn't care to ever see them again. They should never be on TV again. That's what I'll just say at that.
You got a good point. Very good point there. I mean, those guys are wrestling tonight on Ring of Honor. And who wants to see that? How do you build that up?
Neckbeards. Neckbeards will tell you don't know good wrestling. These people are great. You're just old. You don't know good wrestling, Bob.
They might be great if you build them up in an angle, a storyline, something. Not just, hey, I'm in the back, you bumped into me. Let's have a fight. Let's get a match going. That makes no sense. But anyway.
Also got to talk about Hulk Hogan. We got to talk about this, man. Everybody's wondered why Hulk Hogan's getting booed that don't really watch anything. If you don't know what's going outside of, just say WWE TV, you don't know the crazy shit that Hulk Hogan has said the last several years. And it's not just politically motivated, right? But he goes on the Pat McAfee show and says that his segment when he came out was the highest watched segment on Netflix. With no data to back it up, just spouting off at the mouth again, talking complete bullshit.
For that premiere show.
Time with this guy.
Yep.
Yeah, why? Hogan, why, man?
Dude,
why can't you just be appreciative of where you are? Why do you have to say this nonsense?
Don, it's the old story of the Lion in Winter. He was a superstar. He was the most famous athlete in the world in the 80s. Everyone knew Hulk Hogan. Now, not so much. He can still, if he walked through an airport, people say, Jesus Christ, that's Hulk Hogan. That's why he Hulk. And if he's in line at the Publix down here in Florida, buying some vitamins. Hey, Hulk, how you doing, buddy? He would be mobbed. But he craves, when you're out of the public eye for so long, you crave going back into it. You crave the notoriety. You crave the fame. You crave the lights, the adrenaline rush of being on TV. Now he can't wrestle anymore. He's ruined. His back is ruined. His neck's ruined. The hips are shot. He can't do any of that anymore. So what do you do with Hulk Hogan? Have him be a manager? No. He'd get himself over. He wouldn't get anybody else over. He would get himself over.
But his time is over. Why?
It's over.
Why?
He's done.
Why?
And if he didn't ruin himself, and with social media and the public eye over all these faux pas of his over the last 25 years.
Let's just be honest. The racist remarks, the lies, it's just adding up. It's just adding up to the point where you can't turn a blind eye anymore. I will always appreciate what I had with him as a wrestling fan in the 80s, 90s, and even the 2000s. But right now, dude, you got to go away. You just got to go away. You just got to do. Go.
Right. You're exactly right.
Don't be seen again. Don't call us. We'll call you kind of moment.
Right. Sell your beer. Put your name on anything else. If there's a George Foreman grill coming your way, put your name on it.
Oh, God, back to that again.
If you can outlive George Foreman,
Jesus,
there'll be the Hulk Hogan grill.
That was the other one that he always claims. You know what? Should have been the Hulk Hogan grill, brother. I just returned the wrong phone call.
I was going to be the bass player for Metallica, brother, but I missed the bus. I missed my plane, brother. Fly out there with Lars Ulrich, hanging and banging with Jimmy Hetfield. Kirk Hammett's my brother. My brother in Christ, dude.
Also, real quick, shout out to DJ of Rock and Ropes. He's a friend of the podcast. We've been on his show a couple times. Yes. He's going through some hard times right now, brother. I just want you to know we're thinking about you. Hope you're watching tonight, or you get a chance to watch at some point in time and know that we're thinking about you. So,
DJ from Rock and Ropes is on the ropes. He's on the ropes.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
All right, pal.
Anyway, I just want to cover that.
I never know what's going on.
I can look at you. Anyway, I want to talk about some Monday Night Raw real quick before we get into AEW, because the fallout from the Royal Rumble right now is getting out of hand.
It's huge.
People are just they're melting down. They've already told you what the main event's going to be. They've told you how awful it's going to suck. No one has given any of this a chance to breathe. It's just instamatic bullshit screaming from the mountaintop. I don't like this. My guy didn't win. Calm down. Enjoy the ride. Mm-hmm. Cheer for who you want to cheer for and boo who you want. Because, buddy, I'm going to talk to you right now. I'm talking to you,
me?
Johnny Bottles.
Yes, sir.
Jey Uso came out on that show, Monday Night Raw. And the crap, you and I have not been a fan of his ring work. We're not a fan of what he does for the most part. The fan base is behind him 1,000,000%. They are behind him. The IWC doesn't count. That's a small sliver of actual people that pay to go see wrestling shows. You'll find out most of these people on the IWC bitch about it, but never actually go pay money to go see their favorite superstars. They never do.
Right. He
came out on that crowd and he cut his promo. And I got to tell you, pal, that was a real moment in the wrestling industry. Now, it's not one of my personal favorites. I'm not one of the guys that likes all of this is my dream come true. I've worked so hard for this moment. I'm not that guy. And this is just, you know what it is, Bottles?
What's that?
This might just be me and you have a difference of generations, pal. It really might be, because the new generation seems to like this shit. I enjoyed guys like Stone Cold or The Rock or even John Cena or Ric Flair or Arn Anderson when they would say, when I get in that ring, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to beat the hell out of you, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. This is my opportunity, and I am not going to waste it. They didn't break down crying in the middle of the ring. They didn't break down losing their shit.
No, I've been here a long time. I've been here since day one, Oos. Been here a long time. My family's life is in this business.
He was having a hard time holding.
He was having a hard time. He had tears coming out of his eyes when they did a close up. You could see the tear coming out.
But that's when you should fire up as a babyface, right? Like, stop that. Fire up as a babyface. Get back into the moment. This is my time. I am claiming my spot. I'm claiming my title. That's
right.
Just how I felt.
He can't cut a promo, dude. He can't cut a promo. He can't wrestle more than 3-4 moves. And people say, well, John Cena had the 6 moves of doom or the 5 moves of doom or whatever it was. They would spam those moves all the time. So did Ric Flair.
They called it, the 3 moves of your mom.
So did the pelvic thrust. And
yes.
Ric Flair had the same gimmick. He wrestled the same match on the house show all the time.
So did Bret Hart.
So did Bret Hart. Bret Hart was horrible in that respect. You knew exactly what was coming every single match. But Jey Uso, dude, it's a spear.
He's even less. He's even more limited, Bottles. He really is.
He's more limited than what those guys.
Anybody I've seen.
Those guys would save all their big moves for the TV shows. Not Jey Uso. He's got a spear. He's got a spit in my hand and punch guy in the face and a super kick. That's it. He busted out a poison rana.
And a body splash.
And the body splash. Yes. That's the nod to Jimmy Snuka. The splash. The Samoan splash, whatever. Look, these kids nowadays, they bitch about stories. You don't need stories at AEW. You need banger matches. But they got a guy who can't put on a banger match in the WWE. He can't do it. And they're behind him 100% because of the song, because of the entrance. They love it. Because of the Yeet shirt, the sunglasses, all that BS. That's what they got. And they see what he's selling. They track the metrics of the merchandise sales and the reaction of people, and whether that's, they're streaming that song off of Spotify all the time. Denisha says, Don, I have a question. Did you guys see the indie crowd where they were cursing out TK's name when Ricky Starks was wrestling his show? Yeah, we talked about that.
Yes, we talked about that last week.
Last week's show, I believe. It was either Saturday we talked about it or probably most likely last Thursday we talked about it.
Yes, it was last Thursday.
FTK.
The sober episode that we did last Thursday.
Yes.
You joined us for Saturday. I apologize on my behalf. I had a good time. Look, dude, I apologize.
That was a fun show.
But I had a good time. I just had a good time that Saturday. I hope everybody that joined us Saturday or saw it had a good time too. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Hit that notifications button. Hit that like button. Ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. Like and subscribe. Super Chat's open. We appreciate everybody showing up tonight and talking about this. Jey Uso's over. You and I aren't big fans.
No.
It is what it is. They're going to push it. And we're going to see where it goes, right? It could be like Damian Priest, right? 3 months into the road, it's like, this ain't working. We got to get the belt off of him. And it might be the same thing.
He's not wrestling Gunther. If he wrestles Gunther, it's going to be CM Punk and Gunther and Jey Uso. That's what I think. That's what I think. Yes. If he goes to SmackDown, which he is tomorrow night, he's going to be at SmackDown. So Charlotte Flair.
I'm going to watch tomorrow night.
So Charlotte Flair. So you're going to have both Royal Rumble winners confronting the champions there. I think the story that could be told would be Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes.
I think that's the story I want to see. I really do.
As baby faces.
Yes. But I don't want to. No. I don't want to see baby faces.
I think it's going to be a babyface match, but somebody's going to get pissed off. Somebody's going to get pissed off during the match. And then you're going to have Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, ring technician Tonga Loa, is going to join them and attack both guys in the ring. And that's it. That's what I think. I don't think you're going to get a conclusive winner of that championship match. And people will be pissed off, but it is what it is. I don't think the Jey Uso match is going to main event WrestleMania.
Okay. Ashton Chevalier says it's just me, Low Plains Drifter.
Low Plains Drifter. That's what he should do. He should get a pair of pants where he can pull the tops up to his nipples.
Stop. And thank you for the $2 spot.
And wear the yeet glasses.
No. I would like to see Cody Rhodes turn heel. That's what I want to see. I want to see Cody Rhodes turn heel because Jey Uso challenges him and says, I want your belt. And you've got a perfect angle for Cody Rhodes to turn heel. Every one of you son of a bitches I've helped out have turned your back on me or challenged me. It's lonely at the top. You're all beneath me now, and every one of you want my spot. I'm just saying there's a story to be told there.
There's a story to be told there. There really is. But they make more money off a good guy, Cody.
I think they can make a lot of money off of. They made a lot of money off of bad guy Roman Reigns too. Bottles. Let's not forget. You can make a heel the right way, where the crowd's going to cheer him, but they're still a heel.
Roman Reigns was a cool heel, and the integral part of that whole thing was Heyman. Heyman booked the angle. Heyman was the guy who sold you on Roman Reigns. Heyman thought Roman Reigns could walk on water, and you believed it. You sell
again. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. Don't throw in your white towel or your WWE card yet. There's a lot more to go on this because this Raw show, it didn't give a whole lot to you, but it gave you enough to where you were like, I think I got to kind of watch again next week because the next part of the show that got my attention was El Penta El Zero came out.
Yes, sir. Penta.
And had another good match.
He had another good match. Yes, he did.
And did you see who came out to challenge him for a rematch, which kind of got my attention? I don't remember.
Chad Gable.
Yeah, no, Butch.
That's right. Well, Butch didn't really challenge him. Butch really didn't challenge him. He just walked to the ring.
Well, he came out when he was supposed to have his interview. So to me, it sort of felt like they were going to set something up. So I'm interested to see where that goes. The other part of the show that really got my attention, Charlotte Flair had one of the oddest promos I can remember anybody having in the past several years. That was super odd. They were booing the shit out of her. I've already said I don't care that she won. In my opinion, it doesn't matter who won the Women's Royal Rumble because she was always going to be in the main event come WrestleMania. She's the one that can carry a great match with Rhea Ripley. That's who it should have been, in my opinion. Boo the shit out of all you want. You can watch the Elimination Chamber, and it's going to have more on the line. The Women's Elimination Chamber is going to have more on the line, in my opinion, than the men's. It really is.
You're right. I think you're right. Charlotte Flair was being shoved down our throats by Vince McMahon for the last 5 years. And she's done everything possible in the wrestling business over and over again. She's held that belt, women's championship belt, I don't know how many times, be it SmackDown or Raw. And people are just tired of her. When they know when she comes back and she's going to wrestle somebody at WrestleMania, they know right away, okay, she's going to win the title. That sucks. And she had all the intention of being a babyface when she came out.
And the fans weren't having it.
They weren't having
it. Here's where I I sort of differ on your opinion on that. If they really thought, and by they, I mean creative, if creative really thought she was going to come back as a 100% babyface, I don't think you see Rhea Ripley come out there at all. No. I think they had that plan the whole time. I think they knew they were probably going to shit on her early, and here comes Rhea Ripley to tell her, I'm the best in the world right now. And here's the other part, though, Bottles, real quick. She's never held that title that Rhea Ripley's got right now. She's never had that one.
No. Now, if you go back, dial your memory back over a year ago, she was a babyface before she got hurt. During the time when she got hurt, she was a babyface. She was teaming up with all the babyfaces and helping them out. If somebody's getting her ass kicked in the ring, she ran out from the back and helped them out. Charlotte Flair did. So
I thought it was interesting. It got my attention. I was like, okay, this is what I want to see. I'm sorry. And I'm not a huge, you and I, neither one of us, well, you're more than I am, but I'm not a big women's wrestling fan. The Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair WrestleMania match from 2 years ago really did steal night one. It was the best wrestling match on night one by far. Right. Stole the show, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I hope they do it again. I hope they duplicate that again.
There's a couple other.
She was at NXT Tuesday night.
Yes.
And
which, by the way, NXT did what, 766 again or something crazy off the scale numbers?
Yes.
Like just beating the shit right now out of AEW's Dynamite show.
And I don't think people tuned in to see Charlotte Flair. I think they're riding it out with the girls that they have in NXT right now. NXT is a women's wrestling promotion. I don't see any guys outside of Obafemi, Ethan Page, and Trick Williams. I don't see any men rising up to be on the main roster. I don't see that. Well, you could take those three guys I just mentioned, put them on the main roster tomorrow morning, and they would excel. The rest of the guys in NXT, they're falling by the wayside because Shawn Michaels is booking. He's booking. Guess who else isn't a women's wrestling fan? I think we know that. I like your avatar too, pal. I like your avatar, Black Larry.
Black Larry.
2 spot. Yes. Black Larry, if you're new to this channel, he's always in the chat. He's not a fan of the girls wrestling.
He also got his name because we accidentally blocked him and had to figure out how to unblock him.
Yes.
Which my lovely wife helped us figure that out.
And we brought it back, and he won't let it go. He won't let it go now.
He holds a grudge, folks. Be careful. So, want to talk about Charlotte Flair real quick. We're moving off of it, Larry. We're moving off of it. I hope you're happy. And getting to the CM Punk match, which was really good against Sami Zayn.
Yes, it told a story too.
Who knew telling a story like that could make you watch a wrestling match? Who possibly knew that was a good idea? That you could have both a good match and a real story to go with it. Amazing. It's amazing, right?
Who knew that you could drop a man on his head and neck and he won't get up from it right away?
Hold on.
You could sell that. You could sell that injury.
We're going to get there.
I'm just observing something. I didn't go into detail. I'm sure everyone who's watching right now has seen Raw. So,
and coming down the back stretches, Johnny Bottles. Everyone else is in the first turn. Get to the end. I thought the match was great. CM Punk and Sami Zayn told a hell of a story. CM Punk won, which means he's got a spot at the Elimination Chamber, which means Sami Zayn is now out of the Elimination Chamber, which means he no longer has a chance to actually fight for a heavyweight or a big title at the WWE's next WrestleMania. That's a big deal to me. That was a big deal to him. And the afterbirth of this show, the after effects of this show was what got everybody's attention. After the match was over, if you would please now come across the finish line, Johnny Bottles.
After the match was over, Kevin Owens came to the ring, selling the injuries from the Royal Rumble match, the ladder match he had with Cody Rhodes. He had stitches in his eyebrow. He was sore. He had swelling on his face, which you'll probably get naturally when you're driven headfirst through a freaking ladder. And he grabbed Sami Zayn and kicked the shit out of him, and then pulled him up in the package pile driver. And pile drove Sami Zayn in the middle of the ring. Punk ran in, tried to help Sami. Owens jumped out. He's walking around the other side of the barricade through the crowd on his way to the back. Don is digging down a nose nugget right now. He's taking his face down off the screen. Don, are you there?
Yeah, sorry. Had to mess something over here. The chair was going crazy.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
So Kevin Owens waylaid Sami Zayn, his best friend, because he wasn't there for him. during the Royal
That's
Rumble
exactly
match.
right, from the Royal Rumble, and it's a
From
good
the Royal
callback.
Rumble match.
Look how this story is evolving, which, by the way, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have always wanted to face each other at WrestleMania. This has always been a dream of theirs because they truly are the best friends. So I truly hope we get to see this. I think they'll have a good match as long as they have creative has a lot of input, because those two can get a little weird, a little wild at times. Right. But I like where this is going from a storyline perspective. This was great. This was good shit. Again, it was a few things thrown throughout the show. And by the way, this show was pretty long for a Raw, by the way. This was well over 2.5 hours. This one was a little bit longer. When I watch the replay anyway, because I'm not doing the commercials no more.
Are you getting more stuff in the are you getting more things, more videos in your replay of it that I
don't know.
I was 2.5 hours.
I was a little over 2.5 hours, I think. Maybe. I'll go check it again. I might be wrong. It might have been right at 2.5, but I thought it was like 2:40 or something.
Here's a pro tip for people who want to delay watching Raw. Don't put it off to the next day.
Bottles turned me onto this one.
Don't put it off to the next day so you can skip through the commercials, because it'll automatically edit the commercials out. You can start Raw at 9 o'clock like I did, and you will not have a single commercial. They're all edited out for you. You don't have to fast forward unless you're fast forwarding through a recap of what happened last week or earlier in the show. The commercials are gone. So I like that feature.
I like Netflix on WWE. The one thing that I keep hearing is
it was glitchy. It was glitchy so many times.
But I didn't see it on the replay, so I guess they fixed that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was on the replay for mine. My end.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
or if it was there, I didn't notice it. It wasn't bad enough for me to go, oh, what the
right. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Just like a split second, it was like, and the picture would come back.
Which, by the way, the Neckbeards, this show did 2.9 million like a week ago. The Raw Go Home show
for the Rumble, yes.
The Neckbeards are like, their audience is going away. It's so bad. They're down to 2.9 million. It's a dead company, y'all. They've got to regret doing this. By the way,
here we go.
That's double the audience.
When he says, by the way, that boulder of shit is running down the hill towards you. You're Indiana Jones. You're trying to outpace that boulder. When he says, by the way.
You complete and total Tony Khan cockmuncher. That's double the numbers that they got on USA Network. It's above the numbers that they got on Fox on broadcast television by almost a full million. It's also not in India yet, which, by the way, when that happens, holy shit, because that's a huge WWE area that they still haven't gotten into yet. The worldwide Royal Rumble did 2.1 million people. That's not broadcast in America, so let that sink in for a minute. The Peacock version,
hang on a second. Time out here. Explain this for me. The Royal Rumble was on Netflix outside of America.
Outside of the U.S. Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
That's where the PLE point of this comes into. It is being broadcast on Netflix because Peacock does not have the newsflash. Peacock is not very popular outside of America, and it's really not popular for most fans inside of America. The only reason I have it is for football and the WWE pay-per-views or the PLEs. That's the only reason I have it. The word on the street is that they did 14% more Royal Rumble viewers in America on Peacock than they did last year, which would put it around 2.3 million people, which means they did 4.4 to 4.5 million people watch this Royal Rumble. Allegedly, that
around the world
still hasn't hit, but around the world, counting America, and that's without India.
Yes, without India.
So I'm looking forward to this. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. I'm looking forward to seeing what SmackDown does. Bottles. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to get behind it. I can't wait because now we have to talk about what happened last night in AEW with Tony Khan helping out our friend, yours and mine.
Yes.
Awful Wrestling at his show over at Tootie Town Wrestling. Yes. They are taking his gimmick over at Tootie Town and Marvin the Movie Monster's gimmick, and they're running with it now. The same neckbeards that shit all over that guy are now loving Muppets. Puppets are the cool in crowd now. Puppets. I guess. I don't get it.
Yes, they love puppets, and they love puppets, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
A little bit of Jergens on a hand sock. Looking at Mariah May on my... Never mind.
Hey now.
It rhymes with a C, it ends in a K. There's an O and a C and an O and a C.
There you go.
This show last night.
Hang on a second. I'm going back on YouTube.
Shit.
I got to make this show not viewable for people under 18. Okay, there we go. We're good. We're good now.
I didn't say the word. I didn't say the word.
Can't take any chances with the YouTube algorithm, Don.
I'm gonna go and get into this.
You keep on doing this on this show. I'm telling you, we're gonna be broadcasting from a Wingstop parking lot, right next to Totem Pole Nation, while they're living in a refrigerator box.
Look,
right there in a Wingstop parking lot.
It'll happen. We're doing fine. I didn't say it. I just spelled it. You can spell words. See you next Tuesday.
Hey now.
They are in Atlanta, Georgia, where the WWE was just a week or two ago.
Atlanta, GA.
They were just there.
Yes.
WWE was just there. Had Travis Scott. Had huge name rappers. Had all these stars.
Gee, it's going to be hot. It's going to be so hot for us down there, everybody. Give me a White Claw. Jimmy Jacobs, give me a White Claw. What do you mean it doesn't work here anymore? That son of a bitch.
AEW goes down there and gets the local rapper that did Swerve Strickland's song or whoever it was. I've never heard of the guy. And they put him and his buddies on TV who have to start showing off. Don't care. Let me finish. They start showing off 2 WWE big gold belts on AEW show. And they don't just do it once. They do it through the whole damn show.
Don, if the Costco guy can do it, they can do it.
Oh, that guy's got so much. He had to take that down. Did you see that?
Yeah,
they
he took it down.
Take that down.
He did a TikTok video, and it was put on Twitter also. Him and his son and some other goober. And he had on a WWE Championship belt over his shoulder the whole time of the video, talking about chocolate chip cookies and all that other crap.
No one's going to notice this.
No one's going to see that. Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot all about it, Tony.
What
a all about it, Tony.
He's doing anything he can to get WWE to notice him. The WWE has Travis Scott. They're not going to the Costco cookie guy. Get over it. Be glad you've got a job in the
I'll be right there.
Bum. I mean, Jesus, dude.
Screaming at the dogs. Just screaming at the dogs like Tony Khan screaming at Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker.
So
like Tony Khan screaming at Ricky Starks. You're not coming on TV.
The other part that got my attention on this last night, because I commented on the WWE belts being on an AEW show over and over again. You know what I got? The neckbeards all at once? All of them. All of them. That's actually not a WWE title. That actually is a Jim Crockett Promotions title. That's where it was originally brought from. Hey, where's Jim Crockett today? Oh, they're out of business? Well, okay. Well, then it's a WCW belt. Oh, really? Where's WCW today? Oh, who bought them out? WWE? It's a WWE title. Get over yourself. They put it away and brought it back. It's a WWE title. It's smaller than the original Big Gold, but it kept all of the damn same sort of big plate, little plate, little plate. Let's stop the nonsense.
When they asked where's Jim Crockett at today, you should have said, get a shovel and go down to Charlotte, North Carolina.
No
You'll
shit.
be able to find him. Dig him up.
And his promotion.
Yes. That's a guy. That's a guy who spent a ton of money on people, who ran roughshod over him, and he went out of business. He had to sell to Ted Turner because he was going bankrupt. He bought
not one but 2 Learjets to carry around his high-profile athletes.
Yes. It's fantastic, Don.
Again, I just want to say that it's not a WCW belt anymore. That company's gone. It's a WWE belt. They produce them now. That's the end of the discussion. Unless you have an original big gold belt like Conrad Thompson has, you don't have a piece of Jim Crockett Promotions or WCW. I got news for you. You got a WWE product. Get over yourself. Stop being a freaking fanboy. Stop being a damn idiot. It's a WWE. I can put it this way. If they try to put an AEW belt on the front row at a Monday Night Raw, that dude would get yanked off TV so fast, you would see security start beating him like he owes money. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're back to me now.
Moving right along.
Let's start off with this. They're at a 5,000-seat arena in Atlanta. 2,400 tickets were distributed. 2,400. They couldn't even get to halfway with this place, pal.
They couldn't even show anything on the hard cam side like they could a couple of weeks ago.
It's sad.
It's
sad that they're at this point, man.
What's that show in March that I saw on Twitter?
The Pancake Slam.
Our friend Robbie said there's a show in March.
Oh, yes, where they're in a
18,000 seat arena, and they're set up for $3,000, 3,000. Yeah. Jesus Christ!
And they got like 1,600 or 1,500 distributed right now. It's sad.
Well, it's just horrible. What with the guy's money, he should just lease out a place down in Florida and like NXT and just run shows out of there until they could build up the audience on TV to get you to want to go and buy a ticket. They get you to want to grab your phone and go online and buy a ticket. There are shows in Kenscocken, Ohio, or Phoenix, Arizona, or Winona, Nebraska, or whatever. You know what I'm saying, Don?
Yeah, but I do.
There's nothing there that will make you want to go unless you're a diehard neckbeard.
Neckbeard. That's it.
Nothing there to make you want to watch this show.
Do you know what I noticed about this show, by the way?
It was wonderful.
Will you stop? How it started, I said. Did you notice anything in particular about this? Because if you didn't, I can tell you.
There was no Big Bang Theory lead-in. That was
I don't know, because now I got just a blue screen. It goes right into it again. So
it was nothing. I had it on YouTube TV. It was nothing. It went right to AEW Dynamite.
I got something on top of that. Okay, so here's how it ended up.
Okay.
They started this thing off like WWE Raw and SmackDown do. They showed the wrestlers coming into the ring, but here's where they screwed it up. They didn't give you any kind of backstory. It was just bam, 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 bam.
Coming into the arena.
Yeah, it's like, here's a cheap hooker, here's a cheap hooker, here's a cheap hooker, and we're back. It was so fast you couldn't really absorb what the commentators were trying to tell you or understand where the storyline was going. It was just, I'm going to 14-year-old teenage boy, I got to get it off. That's how I felt they were treating me as a viewer.
Well, you had a couple guys walking up. I think it was Jay White walking into the arena and Moxie's crew.
That's at the end of them showing all the other people walking in.
Oh, okay.
That's when we got into the bullshit.
Right.
That's when and this is what I wrote down. And they're doing the exact same thing they did last week with a schmoz right out of the gate. They did this a week ago.
Right. And they screwed it up too, because they should have just had the guys walking up the ramp and then Moxie's crew walking down. But you saw the other perspective where you're over the shoulder of the good guys and the heels are coming down a ramp. And then you see, as soon as the heels come through the door and go down a ramp, maybe about 20 feet, the backup of Cope and FTR come down the ramp. And you can see them coming, so you know.
Yes.
The
surprise. You can't hear these guys walking behind you?
The surprise is ruined. It should have been over the shoulder of Moxley's crew. And then you have a hand come up and tap Moxley on his shoulder, and it's those guys, FTR and Cope, and a big free-for-all.
Well, the whole thing is that Jay White's out there, which, by the way, last night, Jay White did not have a good night on the microphone. Holy shit.
No.
That's bad. That's bad, dude.
Horrible.
My God.
Horrible. I don't think he really cares anymore. I think he's just riding it out.
You think?
He's getting paid. I think he's just trying to stay healthy and not get hurt, so they tack more time onto his contract.
What if that's just how he talks? He had 2 promo opportunities last night, and both of them I wrote down, geez, that's not good.
Not good at all. No, not good by a long shot.
Because like you said, he starts getting interviewed by Renee Moxley Good, and he's going in, oh, look, here we go again, Nick. Here comes the numbers, blah, blah, blah. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of you, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of us. And everybody acts surprised like it's a teenage draw. What are we doing? It's a teenage play. What the hell was that?
It's just
ridiculous. And out of nowhere, why did one of the Death Riders, or Cracker Clan as we call them, why did she pick up Renee Moxley Good and run off like she was kidnapping her? What the hell was that?
That was explained on Twitter by somebody. I don't know if it was mentioned on the show real quick in an info dump from Excalibur that Marina Shafir was ordered by Moxley to make sure his wife doesn't get hurt. And I'm thinking to myself, did I miss Excalibur saying that on the air?
That's so weak, dude. That's so weak. I'm sorry. That's the weakest excuse in the history of weak excuses. Just a trash-ass beginning of the show. They go fighting all over the arena. They eventually end up back in the ring, because that's what I do when I get into a fight. I make sure I fight back to the ring, just not where I'm at.
Bald FTR, gun FTR. Yeah. Gun FTR should just pull a 22 out of his pocket and start shooting people.
Easy. We could get in trouble for that. Easy.
Shooting airsoft rounds.
There we go. Okay. Be that way. Claudio saves Max from a damn cope spear, and everything sucks at this point in time. And Jay White issues an anything goes challenge with Cope against Claudio and Max at Grand Slam in Australia. The
Claudio
whole
and Max.
thing.
Max who?
Mox. Sorry.
Mox. Okay.
I was writing this feverishly because I was like, this sucks.
It's on Max. Max
No,
on
it's
Max.
on Max, yes.
Mox
It's
is
Mox
on Max with Max.
Which, by the way, they keep advertising the Grand Slam. Last night, they finally gave you what time it would come on. Did you catch that after all the weeks and weeks?
Don, I had no interest in what time Grand Slam starts.
Okay.
I could care less.
Well, can I tell you now?
You can tell me now.
It's on after the NBA All-Star game or the NBA All-Star series. Whatever they got, the skills competition, whatever.
They're hoping for a big pop from the big bump in numbers from the NBA All-Star thing. They should start, if they want to, they should start the match off with Toni Storm and Mariah May. Start the show off with that.
Again, hold on.
In those outfits.
Wouldn't it make more sense to start it earlier the night and lead into the NBA show? Because after the NBA show at 10 o'clock, people are going to go do something else. I'm not going to watch TV. If I'm going out, I'm going out. But I'm not going to sit here and watch this shit. I'll change the channel to something else.
You don't know the audience.
And just to me, it makes more sense to lead into it.
It's 16-year-old boys masturbating furiously in their basement. I'm just saying.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button and the super chat is open.
Hit a ring-a-ling with a ding-a-ling, please. Thank you.
Holy shit.
A bing-bong with a ding-dong. Put a tarp underneath yourself when you do that. Go ahead, Don.
Okada and Buddy Matthews in the back. Again, we got more bitches. You're a bitch. I'm the bitch. You're the bitch. And then after all this, they go, we've got a match now. He just told him no. And then the announcers go, actually, they're actually going to really face each other now.
And they got a graphic up for it. The graphic's up for it.
What the hell was that?
The graphic is up for the match that Okada said no to.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He just said no. He just said no. And Tony Schiavone's like, we got a match next in 2 weeks. What the hell was that?
It's like the AV club and the wrestling team at your local high school got together and said, hey, kids, let's put on a show. That's what this is like. It's horrible.
This is for charity.
It's ridiculous. It is just the shits. It's the shivering shits.
I can't believe that they threw that up there, man. It was so bad. It's like, what's his name, Ricochet, a couple weeks ago, when he said, if you want to hear what I got to say, you got to come back next Wednesday. And then they go to Wednesday. I'm saving it for Saturday. Bitch, make up your mind. What are you talking on this show?
A lot of these guys are hitting the head too often, Don. Their brains are scrambled. Their brains are scrambled, Don.
Ospreay comes out next, and he's going to have another match. And I wanted to ask you this.
Yes.
What Ospreay, look, he has something with his fan base. He's a big star of this fan base. He's over with his fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they using this guy like a schlub, like a mid-card talent? He's on TV wrestling every week, man. CM Punk has had one match on TV all year. That wasn't a PLE or a pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, right? And that was this past Monday. Why is this dude on every week, man?
Look. The guy that holds the heavyweight title as a prop is writing his own stories. Generally, the guy who would face the heavyweight champion would be a young up-and-comer or a popular star that fans are behind. And you would say, Will Ospreay. Why isn't Will Ospreay challenging Jon Moxley for the belt? I
agree with that. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Don't understand it. But he's spinning his wheels with Omega and spinning his wheels with Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, which is going to be the Grand Slam match. Why isn't Omega chasing after Moxley, trying to get the belt back? He's an EVP. He said he was an EVP last night. I'm an EVP again. Go ahead, Don.
I don't mind them tagging together to get into this because they both have issues with Don Callis. Mm-hmm. I get that. That's where it is right now. I'm not going to disagree with what they're doing from that perspective. My issue is Ospreay shouldn't be used every week like a God blessed, mid-carder. He should be out. I'm not saying he's a great promo, bruv, but he shouldn't be wrestling every week.
They got him as a utility player to try to pop a rating, to try to interact with other guys on the roster. And it's Don Callis. All the time, Don Callis. He's locked in it out. When he can finally cut him loose from Don Callis, then you might see him face Moxley, MJF, guys like that. MJF again, I should say. We already seen that match. It was an hour long. And what that was for, I have no idea. It made no sense to have an hour-long match with a guy that didn't hold the title. He wasn't the champ.
Well, I got good news, is that if you want to see Ospreay have a banger of a match, you got Mark Davis. Choke's on you. It's not happening. Mark Davis comes out of nowhere. Who we didn't remember until a couple of weeks ago. Had no idea who he was. Suddenly he's back and he's having a match.
Kyle Fletcher's ex-tag team partner. He got hurt for over a year. He was out.
Yeah.
Wrestling these untrained idiots in AEW. And he got hurt and over a year. And they decided to put a rocket up Fletcher's ass because he was a good-looking kid at the time. Now he looks like a prison psychopath. But Mark Davis came out, and he looked like a guy from Mid-South Wrestling circa 1981.
He really did.
Just got his ass beat by Blackjack Mulligan.
Look at my big, blubbery, hairy ass.
Got the back hair, the chest hair, the beard. It looks like he's been up all night long. The hair's messed up. He's got the belly. And he's sashaying to the ring, and everybody's going, who?
Don't mind me. I just came from Golden Corral.
They threw me out because I complained they didn't have vodka.
No, they threw me out because they said all you can eat. And I was like, I bet you can't. Watch this, pal. Them ham rolls are gone. Watch.
I ate a steak on a stick at the Golden Corral.
So
yeah, he looked horrendous. And everyone's going, who? And then they finally realized who he was. And they said, you sold out. You sold out.
Again, no one gives a shit. No one.
500 people in the crowd of 1,600 said, you sold out.
This is what I wrote. The match no one wanted, but we're getting it anyway. And Ospreay, once again, that's what I wrote down. Why does he wrestle every week? We don't see CM Punk. He has good matches with lots of moves, but there's never any drama. Like, I never feel like he's in peril because you know what's going to happen. He's going to exchange a bunch of moves. He's going to win in the end. Guess what happened? He did a bunch of moves. He won in the end, and out comes Ospreay. And, Ospreay wins, and then out comes Kenny. And I said, oh, shit. This is Kenny Omega's going to cut a promo. And where's my pin?
Why did Callis just hover around the peripheral area of ringside and the side of the ramp and up on the stage and then back to ringside? All he's got to do is go up the ramp and go out the back. Go through the heel tunnel. That's all he's got to do.
He's a shit heel. I get it. It's for drama. I don't mind that.
It made no sense. It made no sense whatsoever. Run through the goddamn crowd at the steps. But
you want to know what made no sense? What made no goddamn sense was this Kenny Omega bullshit that he's got screaming out of his lips. This guy sucks. Like and subscribe, hit the notifications button. This guy sucks ass on a promo like nothing I've ever seen. If you thought Jey Uso was bad, bullshit. This guy's bad 101.
Horrible.
Nothing this guy said made me feel like he really cares or he's really going to do anything. He just doesn't get it, man. And the sign-off is the worst.
He looked like Mickey Rourke from the movie The Wrestler walking into Whitey's Bar and Pool Hall down in New Orleans. That's what he looked like. In his girl jeans and his tight shirt and his hair in a ponytail. He did have some girl
jeans. I would argue he was going to the Blue Oyster. That would be my argument.
The Blue Oyster?
That would be my argument. The promo was ass. I don't care what anybody says. His promo was ass. And Kyle, dude, sorry. Ospreay is up in the corner. Did you see Ospreay during his promo? Like, yeah.
I saw him. He was doing this. He was doing this.
That's it. That's what he was doing the whole promo. That's him supporting Kenny Omega. This thing sucked balls.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. And his signature sign-off is the worst turd I've ever heard in my life. Goodbye, mwah, bang, and good night. Why?
There's a reason why he has a manager when he first came into this company, and he has a manager in New Japan for a while, and that fell by the wayside. There's a reason why the man had somebody talking for him. Obviously, now he thinks he could just get on the stick and talk like a champ. He can't.
I wanted to gouge my ears in. This thing was so bad. When he cuts a
Gouge
promo
your
and how he
ears
ends it,
in.
just gouge them in.
Just push them in.
Just
tuck the lobes in, the whole 9 yards.
Just like prison, man. Push your shit in. That's how I felt last night.
You look like Mick Foley on one side, just a deformed hole right there. I
couldn't get past this. This was so bad.
Horrible.
I couldn't stand it. It got worse. And again, the way he ends it, where he says good night and goodbye, or goodbye and good night and bang. That's like Bret Hart saying, Bret Hart says he's the best in the world. By the way, I am the best in the world. Why are you repeating yourself, man? Why are you saying the same thing twice in your sign-off? Just say good night and bang. That's it.
Next week he'll come out in a mink coat with a shopping bag, a paper bag full of confetti and glitter, and just throw it in the crowd like Rip Taylor. Hello, Frisco.
Hello, ladies.
Hello. Goodbye, good night. Hello.
Bang.
I'm Kenny Omega.
Bang bus segment.
They cut my colon out.
He's going to be in a damn video called Two Guys in a Cup. That's all I'm saying.
2 guys in a bag. Just a plastic bag.
Hello. Jesus.
Oh,
the next segment on this show. The next segment on this show had Swerve and the Ping Pong segment. Folks, if you don't know who Ping Pong is, that would be Ricochet. That's what we call him. Again, it wasn't bad. It was what it was.
It was what it was.
Then we get the Hurt People come out. And I got to ask you something.
Yes.
Because the chant is oddly similar to something. And it took me a while to figure out what it was. You know what they remind me of? South Park. Crab people, crab people. That's what it sounds like in my head. Hurt people, crab people, crab people, hurt. That's what it is.
Were they saying we hurt people? Were they saying we hurt people? We hurt people.
If they are,
it's the same hurt people.
It's the same shit. It's the same rhythm.
Yes. And Lashley stood there like, I can't believe I'm signed with this company. He had that look on his face.
But he cuts a great promo.
Lashley?
No, not Lashley. I'm talking about MVP.
I'm talking about Lashley. Had the look on his face like, I can't believe it.
I think he had the look on his face like, we're going to have to deal with these 2 jackasses that are coming out next, and I really don't want to do this shit.
Well, they're
Pablo's back. Pablo's
the real
back,
one.
ladies and gentlemen.
In my opinion, there's way too many heels that are really bad at it. You got that right. No faces that draw, and also the network should threaten TK with cancellation if this continues. Well, I don't think the way they operate, Zaslav operates over there at Time. I was going to call it Time Warner. Jesus Christ, I'm having flashbacks. Time Warner. That's
Warner Brothers Discovery.
Warner Brothers Discovery, pal. Warner Brothers Discovery. David Zaslav, the head of Warner Brothers Discovery, doesn't operate like that. He'll just cancel it. He won't threaten anybody. He'll just let it go. They just canceled Cena's show. They canceled Cena's game show.
Did they cancel the show?
Wipeout.
Really? Wipeout. Did they really?
Gone. Done. Nobody's watching it, and they're losing money on it.
I don't know how you could possibly lose money on that piece of shit. They
$2 million an episode. $2 million an episode.
Oh my God. So I'm glad you brought that up. If that costs $2 million an episode on average, Netflix is paying like $8.5 to $8.9 million an episode because folks, they get the PLEs too. And people forget that. They're like, you divide 500 million by 52. No, they get the PLEs. So you add another 10 shows to it. They get PLEs night 1 and night 2 in a couple of cases. So they're paying less.
Absolutely.
If you're paying $2 million a show for that bunch of bullshit, live entertainment like the WWE is Johnny Bottles knocks some shit over. I can't even see it. Thank you very much, Pablo. I hope you're having a good night, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. We always appreciate you showing up.
Yes, sir.
What are the good people on the show right there, Pablo?
Pablo, the real one.
People.
He's a real one. He's real people. Real people.
So MVP lays out a challenge, and out comes the Gun Club. They've been gone a long while. I'm not going to hate on the Gun Club. I like these guys.
I do like them too. I do like them too.
I think they've got talent.
And they had to go and they come out the challenge to hurt people. And right away, before they threw the challenge out there, they got to go and just start acknowledging Atlanta GA.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, guns up, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
that part I didn't like. I didn't like that part.
That's what I did not like. You're out there. Don't try to get yourself over like that. Get yourself
No.
over by breaking bad with the hurt people.
No, just live in the moment. You don't need to try to sell the crowd on who the hell you are. They either know you or they don't, but stay in the moment. Come off as a badass. Have a tough guy. You both got good size. You both look the part. You look like a real threat to who these guys are. Right. Unlike the PP, the private party, who look like shit.
I don't think they're going to be a real threat to these two guys,
no.
to tell you the truth. Bobby Lashley dwarfs both of those guys.
Well, no, dude, go back and watch that, man. The one that looks just like Billy is got the size. He's just as big. He's not as wide, but he's got the size.
He sounds like Billy, too.
Like an idiot?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Neither one of those guys,
And God looked down upon you and said, Bob, but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is. One of my favorite promos
Oh, my God. That was
one of the best ever.
Rock. That was where they tried to give Billy Gunn a singles push. Good Lord Almighty.
The Rock shit all over him.
Both of those kids, they're good-looking kids. They can wrestle, but, they must have skipped promo class in AEW, much like 90% of that roster. So.
Look, they need help on it.
They do? They need to go to NXT.
You know who they need to talk to the Outlaw Jesse James. That's who they need to talk to. That guy can teach them how to
bounty hunter. They need to talk to the bounty hunter.
Easy, cowgirl. Let's not go there.
You need to talk to the bounty hunter.
But the way this ended was cold. When MVP left, he said, we're going to fight a couple of ass boys next week. Dude, I fell out. MVP is cold, son. He is cold on the mic.
Cold. They're going to destroy these two kids. Somebody's going to get hurt again.
Then we get to the highlight of the show. Harley Cameron segment with Mercedes Moné in the background coming in, but Harley Cameron has the Mercedes Moné puppet, and it's absolute gold. This whole thing, I was hook, line, and sinker. I was in on this because when Mercedes starts talking and she's got that puppet going in the background, I was dying laughing, dude. I don't care if this is all she does for a couple of weeks. She doesn't need to be in a ring, right? She doesn't need to.
You can say that again.
Talent.
You can say that again.
She's got talent. And I wrote somebody last night. I said, think Stacy Keibler, but with real talent.
Right. Harley Cameron has a Cameo page on the website Cameo where you can buy promos. People cut promos on you or say, hey, how you doing? Hope you have a good birthday, Tom. That sort of thing. This is Harley Race. Go ahead, do it. Harley Race. Tom, I just tell you right now, I hope you have a good
I want Harley
birthday.
Race to cut me. I want Harley Race to cut me a happy birthday song. I told that motherfucker happy birthday 3 weeks ago.
That's sort of what Cameo is. But she was on Cameo with the puppet.
Don't bother me again, kid. I'll burn the goddamn ring to the ground. Where's Hogan?
She cut a promo on Cameo with the puppet on somebody, and Tony Khan saw it and said, that's a great gimmick. We're going to do that on TV. What? Yeah, we're going to do that on TV. How are we going to do that? So she got a Mercedes Moné puppet.
Denisha
are you stupid or are you dumb? What does that mean?
Denisha dropped us a 10 spot earlier. She wants to know if we've noticed that Pockets has been missing the last couple of episodes.
Yes.
I hope it continues to be a thing.
Yes.
Denisha, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, Denisha. I don't want to see Pockets for a long time. I don't care if I never see him again.
Who's been missing since before the holidays?
Ooh, tall white girl.
Not the Young Bucks.
Camille.
Yeah, Camille is like she's in Guantanamo Bay. She's locked in Guantanamo Bay.
By the way, sons of bitches are using Guantanamo Bay.
I heard it on Keep It 100 today. Disco Inferno.
Dude.
Conan said, what's that Guantanamo Bay you're talking about? And Disco said,
that's he's got guys, they're not using those guys. They're not using those guys, they got them locked away somewhere. Guantanamo Bay.
But at any rate.
I can't believe it.
But at any rate.
Anyway, I like this segment more.
Jack
of the
Perry
puppet and her.
Jack Perry has been gone This is before Thanksgiving.
Jack Perry.
Yes. When the Young Bucks left, Jack Perry, they moved him off of TV.
Too.
Yes. Which is a good thing because he's the shits.
I still, look, we're a year and a half later. I still cannot believe that Tony Khan backed the son of an actor over a professional wrestler who was drawing them money. And here we are a year and a half later. Right. And CM Punk, once again, is breaking the Richter scale, being a professional wrestler. I want to touch on that real quick. But I want to see more of Harley Cameron, those puppets. I really do.
She was good.
It's entertaining as hell.
Could sing,
She's
she
a
could
funny
dance.
girl. She can sing. She can dance. She can just don't let her wrestle, man. Keep her out of the ring.
Legit ventriloquist. So I would have her be the manager of Mercedes Moné. And Mercedes can just move her mouth. And Harley can do the talking like a ventriloquist. Are you stupid or are you dumb? What does that mean?
I don't know. Dude.
What does that mean? Are you retarded or are you
easy?
Or are you learning disabled?
Easy.
It's the same shit.
Easy.
Wait, pal, we got a new president. We can say retard now.
No, we can't.
Come on now, it's YouTube.
Pablo, the real one. Hey, Don, you heard Irv Gotti pass producer Ja Rule. What?
Yes, Irv Gotti.
I did not.
The great Irv Gotti.
What the hell? When did that happen?
Irv Gotti's gone, pal.
No, I'm calling bullshit.
Irv Gotti's gone, pal. He's out.
I'm looking it up. Son of a bitch.
Irv Gotti's gone. Can't live forever, pal. Pablo, the real one with a $1.99. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you for the bad news. I'm going to go
Thank
cry
you for
in
the bad
truck now.
Thank you for the bad news, my friend.
I'm going to cry in the truck and drink a beer. There's a
he did.
Song in there.
He did.
Stop. No, we're moving on. We're not going to. No.
Irv Gotti. He did.
I'm not going to discredit the man. My God.
What, Irv Gotti?
Yeah. Hangman with Renee Moxley Good. She's back again. And out of nowhere, Max Caster, which, look, we're not fans of Max Caster. This got me to laugh a little bit. I don't know about you or not.
It did.
I don't know about you or not. Because he said, you know what? You're looking for a fight. You should go find Mr. Ass or my tag team partner. I thought that was great.
Mr. Ass. Yes, that was funny.
I thought this was great. That got me to pop. And then we get Takeshita and Fletcher versus the house formerly known as Black. And I don't give a shit.
The Hounds of Hell, Don.
The house of formerly known as Black.
They gave Buddy Matthews an opportunity here to talk, cut promos backstage. He actually looked like he was having fun. He did. He actually looked like he was having fun. I like this match. I'm sorry. I did like this match. Out of all the other schlock that was on this show, these guys put on a good match.
Went too long. There were
don't
too
like
many
Brody
false
King.
finishes. Went too long. Too many false finishes.
It's always the matches are always too long in AEW.
Went too long. Too many false finishes, and this is where it really got on my nerves. They got one of the guys from the house normally known as Black up on the ropes, and Okada's music hit, and he never comes out. And the faces lose the momentum for like 10 seconds, but immediately get it back.
10 seconds. It was like they lost it for he was up on that turnbuckle. Buddy Matthews sitting on the turnbuckle for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, looking up the ramp like, what's going on?
And the heels never got the upper hand. Like, it was absurd.
Which made no sense. It made no sense. The heels should have grabbed them and whatever.
Beat the shit out of them. Oh, yes. By the way, guess who won? Guess who won? You want to take a guess?
I know.
Molly knows. And his
Molly
friend
knows,
won.
yes.
Billy Scranton says nothing is sadder than watching MJF's decline, and that's coming up here shortly, and we're going to dig into that, Billy. Matter of fact, let's get into that right now, because we'll talk about Samoa Joe in the Hook segment in a minute.
Thank you for the $4.99, Billy.
Thank you so much for the super chat.
I've never seen Billy here before. First time, Billy? You're a first timer?
I appreciate you coming in.
Yes,
but
sir.
I do want to talk about this because somebody in the comments of the show last week asked us if we had a nickname, and forgive me if I forget who you said it, but you popped me with it because you said he had the perfect nickname for MJF. Miss Jumping Federations.
Yes.
That popped me. That was huge. And this was a prime example of why.
That was in the YouTube comments, which we do read, by the way.
Yes. MJF came out and said, this is all elderly wrestling. Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? That would be like CM Punk coming out and saying, we used to wrestle entertaining company. Like, what? It's the same kind of caveat.
He's parroting what's on Twitter. The people that hate AEW have referred to it as all elderly wrestling.
I get that,
So
but
he's
it's not
parroting
funny
that.
and it's not cool, and it's the same shtick he's been doing for the
Look,
past 2 years. He's not growing bottles as a ring performer.
Do you
or as an
think?
interviewer.
Do you think not?
Well, no, that's
This
what I
guy's
said.
this guy's fall off should be studied.
It's
How can
horrible.
the hottest act in the business at one point in time? His contract was coming up. Where is he going to go? Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? They threw a bunch of money at him. Don't know how long he signed for. You can't get a straight story about that. You can't get a straight story about the amount of money he signed for. But he's there now, and he's got a bullshit tattoo on the back of his calf. Bet on yourself.
That says
with the
AEW
logo, with the AEW logo in the middle of it. Yes, and he's there, and he's doing the same old thing over and over again, praying he doesn't get hurt, putting hardly anything into the matches. It is what it is. I don't blame
By the
him.
way,
I don't blame him.
thank you very much, Billy, for the super chat. We appreciate you showing up, buddy. Again, this is just, I don't know what's going on with this guy, man. It's just, and then he got into a pissing contest last night with an ex-WWE official. Did you see that?
Jimmy Corderas. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's attacking Jimmy Corderas, who just said, don't mention your competition or their champion. And that's
It's a
what he
bad look.
did.
Because that's what he's always done in all his promos. Ever since he started with this company, he's always mentioned the other company. Oh, I'll just call my buddy Paul. I got him on speed dial. I'll call my buddy Bruce.
The thing is, it was cool when they were young and they were starting out and they were hot, right? Now you're getting your teeth kicked in.
Yes.
Stop. You're getting your ass kicked. Find
Absolutely.
something else. Don't call your own wrestlers old. He called Jeff Jarrett a carny. Max Caster comes running in, and here comes Hangman. And the Max Caster thing was dumb. I'm sorry.
Didn't like a year ago Max Caster want to bang MJF? Wasn't that thing? Wasn't that thing that was going on?
Yeah, it was some sort of a weird thing.
Some sort of gay relationship he wanted to have with MJF. MJF was getting a massage, and Max Caster walked in and pushed a masseuse out of the way and started giving him a back rub, and he saw it was Max Caster. He jumped off the massage table.
Here's my thing, though, with all of this. All of this.
It's called garbage.
Max Caster runs in, no music, no fanfare, no nothing.
That's a good thing.
Hangman Page starts walking out, and they play his music. Why? If this is supposed to be an impromptu interruption, there should be no music. There needs to be less music when somebody's interrupting you. It doesn't feel real in that regard. And this felt fake. Look, I'm interested. I'm very interested in MJF facing Hangman. I really am. Hangman's winning me back over because he had to redeem himself and rebuild his image. I'm starting to get behind this. This ain't it.
What? You're starting to get behind Hangman Adam Page?
I'm starting to be a fan. I'm sorry, I am.
He's not wearing the butterfly jeans anymore. Or
when he's not wearing
shirt.
that, yes, it's taken him a year and a half to pull the plate up, man.
They played his music to run to the ramp, sort of like what Jeff Hardy, when his brother's getting his ass kicked in the ring, they played Jeff Hardy's music to run down the ramp to save his brother, and he stood at the top of the ramp and started dancing, doing the, I got to save my brother. What the?
I'm awesome.
Any,
oh, shit, my brother's getting his ass kicked.
Who is this for? Who is this show for? I don't understand this crap.
Well, no, we're not done yet, bro. We're not done yet because now Dustin Rhodes decides he's coming down to
out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Because you manhandled Jeff Jarrett, his buddy, his new pal, Jeff Jarrett. He got manhandled last week. So now Dustin Rhodes comes out. Like he's going to do better.
I wrote down Dustin Rhodes walks his dusty ass down the damn ramp. And here we go. What the hell is this deteriorating?
I was going to say that he's never won a match in AEW, but he won a match in Ring of Honor. He's a Ring of Honor Tag Team Champ with Sammy Guevara, who's been excommunicated from AEW due to the Mercedes Moné RAPE comment. Still, he's with the anger management counseling. Still, she won't let him back on that show.
No, Pablo, I did not see that sign. He gave us some money, so I want to make sure I saw. I didn't see that sign about Hangman.
Hangman's your fault.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see
you know what's their fault this show was now we're going to get MJF versus the Senior Citizens Tour. That's where we're going. Because he's not done with Jeff Jarrett yet. We're just getting warmed up here.
Where's Jeff Jarrett? What was it on the show? What happened?
I don't know. He got the shit kicked out of by Claudio a week ago, so he's done now.
He's
going home.
He's actually selling.
He's going home.
Okay.
He's gone. We'll never see him again.
He's home tightening up his wife's face. He's turning the crank on the back of her head to tighten that face up.
Easy, pal. Holy
What's wrong with
crap.
that, pal? What's wrong with that, pal?
What's wrong with that is that Mariah May comes out, followed by Queen Abdullah Oblongata, and then Tony Storm's coming out looking like Mariah May. And
Dressed
the
like Mariah May.
Neckbeards laid down tarps across the country
Yes.
and jumped into 50-gallon barrels of lotion.
Yes.
And I don't give a shit about this. This match doesn't matter. I don't give a damn. I don't care who won. You know who won. None of this matters. The only thing that matters is the character that Tony Storm's presenting. It's over. She's at least interesting, Bottles.
Pal, she's probably the most interesting thing on that show, actually.
The puppet.
And she looked like two glazed hams trying to slide their way out of a plastic Walmart bag.
What is wrong with
That's what it looked like. Pal, I'm just saying. She looked like she had two bulldogs fighting each other in the back of that swimsuit.
Well, we've talked about this before. Charlotte Flair has the disease known as no acetol.
No acetol. Birth defect.
Tony Storm has the opposite disease.
Yes.
I don't know what you call that disease. If anybody in the chat knows what that disease is called, let us know, because she's got the opposite of Charlotte Flair.
She's got, it's called Audiaspal.
No,
she's got Audiaspal.
It's something else. No, we're not doing that.
No?
It's something else. I also noticed Aubrey Edwards was in full prance and pony mode for this whole match.
Mm-hmm.
She had it going, pal.
Oh,
the
sure.
Hair, the mane was going everywhere.
Yeah,
she was cantering around the ring. She had one leg giving it the all.
There was a carrot hanging off of they hang a carrot around the neck of the cameraman in the ring. That's what gets her going.
Renee then comes into the ring to interview Tony Storm.
What'd you say, Maven? Who?
Renee.
Oh, Renee? Where was Tony Schiavone? How come they're not using him in the ring to interview
who
people?
The hell knows? Because he's at ringside doing nothing.
Horrible.
He's doing his job.
Horrible.
Nothing happens. I don't care.
A man of his size. A man of his size. Two guys are the same size. I can't believe a man of his size did. Christ. You act like Buddy Matthews is fighting Godzilla. A man of his size did that.
A girl with an ass that size can move like that. It's amazing, pal.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You hear that noise? No, what's that, Tony? I hear those cheeks clapping.
Jesus, dude. Dustin Rhodes says he's going to kick the shit out of MJF, blah, blah, blah. Then we get the New York Minute. Low Plains Drifter and Bandito are going to fight for the bounty.
Who wouldn't want to see that?
I don't want to see that.
Who would want to see that? Dude. Bandito versus the Low Plains Drifter for the nipple pants, the leather nipple pants. Who's going to have custody of the leather nipple pants?
Oh, it just didn't stop, man. It just didn't stop. I said, okay. And the Hobbs shows up, and he and Big Bill get into a big melee. And this thing just goes off the air with them fighting, and then they come back, and they're gone.
You're challenging for the biggest belt in the company 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And now you're fighting Jericho and Big Bill and Low Plains Drifter. And you're probably going to be tag team with Bandito next. The Frito Bandito. What, did Powerhouse Hobbs spit on Tony Khan's mother? Did he slap his father in the face? What the hell happened?
Hold on. Did you see that Tony Khan's favorite project is coming back in a couple of weeks?
Hologram?
Did you see that god-awful segment that they showed?
I saw a clip on Twitter where he's on a street corner with a mask on, and he's got a suit on.
And he looks at his
hand, and there's like energy glowing out of his hand.
He is like suddenly becoming one of the Mortal Kombat characters. Scorpio or Sub-Zero, take your pick. But he is becoming one of them live in front of. I am Sub-Zero. It's just the worst, dude. This is some WCW bullshit when they brought out the iceberg guy, whatever the hell that guy's name was.
Glacier.
Remember that dude? Glacier. That shit.
Yes. I am now Job Zero. I'm the sub-jobber. The guy who came back from injury and he concussed himself. It's just my ass, less chaps. Oos. That's right, Oos. God. Just my assless chaps, Oos. Respect my assless chaps.
Pal.
Good
This
Lord
thing was horrible.
Almighty.
Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button. The last match, and we're going to close the show out quickly on this, was Swerve versus Ricochet, a.k.a. Ping Pong. The best part of this whole match was the power bomb onto the barricade on the side by Swerve onto Ricochet, and they surprised me because they finally gave Ricochet a big win. Surprised the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think they did that?
You can't have the guy lose to everybody and act like he's a big deal. Like, it doesn't matter how many flips and cool moves you do. If you're not getting any wins in the end, it doesn't matter, Bottles. It still matters in the end.
He could have put the scissors out. Could have pulled the scissors out. Did a whole Barber Seville on Swerve Strickland. Cut his dreads off.
Dude, hell no. Dude, they ain't paying him enough money for that.
You just get weaves.
Hell no. To the no.
They just get hair extensions and put it on that way. That's how they do it.
No.
They could do that.
That guy's been growing that for a long time. You ain't cut that
do
shit.
that. It's probably hair extensions anyway. Who knows?
It's not. It's real. I've looked it up.
You looked it up on the dark web of a list of people in AEW have real hair.
It was not.
Fake
it was
hair.
SwerveHair.com.
SwerveHair.com. He's got real hair.
Don't ask what's going on down there.
It's a gif. It's a gift of Low Plains Drifter saying, "Swerve's got real hair."
He's looking at a different part of his body though in that picture.
Because he's only so tall.
He's eye to eye.
He's only so tall.
He's eye to eye with South Carolina, ladies and gentlemen.
Eye to eye with a hog going, he's getting real hair.
With a South Carolina mascot.
A razorback hog.
That is not that, pal. That's Arkansas. Bottles, I gotta get you to watch more sports. Oh, that's the show.
I'm sorry, pal.
AEW.
I'm too busy watching wrestling shows I hate.
I can tell. Why? Why do you do this? Ashton Chevalier, Brutus Beefcake should be Ricochet's manager.
Missy Beefcake should be Ricochet's manager.
Oh, no. We're not bringing out the olive loaf again.
Missy Beefcake should be Ricochet's
manager. Olive loaf can go away.
Come on now.
No.
You love her the way Greg Valentine loves her. I
do. See you next Tuesday.
Yes. Beefcake's wife, she's a see you in Tuesday.
So I'm going to watch SmackDown. Whatever. I enjoyed this week of wrestling except for last night. That was just painful. I don't know where you go from here if you're AEW. You are a rudderless ship in the middle of the Atlantic, and you have no idea where the wind's going to blow. I mean, you really don't. A week ago, MJF was feuding with Double J. A week later, he's out here with Dustin Rhodes, who Dustin Rhodes is now going to face him next week. This is the wave, man. We're in a hurricane of waves, and I can't get creative.
They'll bring in Jacques Rougeau, maybe Steve Blackman, maybe JBL will come over.
No, he'll never do that.
I know that. I'm just joking.
Okay. But there is also other news that I don't know if we talked about this yet or not, but WWE's going to Tubi, pal.
Yes.
They've got so NXT is the minor leagues of their professional wrestling show. They are now going to put their AAA version of wrestling on Tubi.
WWE Evolve.
Crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
8 p.m. on Wednesday nights on Tubi, free.
I mean, bro, if you think that's not going to directly affect them, you're wrong because people do watch Tubi. I know lots of people that cut the cable cord and they go to Tubi or some of these other free. I mean, there's a bunch of Freeview's, another one. They go to these free TV shows now, man. They don't care. They get their TV through Hulu or YouTube, and if that's not it, they cut it out.
YouTube, RedTube, they get it all.
Easy, cowboy.
Seth Rollins talked about. Go ahead. Seth Rollins talked about his feeling about Hulk Hogan being booed at Raw. He says, "I'm all for the people getting what they deserve. I love to see it." What a great guy.
You ever notice that he's always got some shit to say after the fact, but never, before the moment? It's always after the fact he's got something to say. Don't be a pussy, Seth. If you got something to say about somebody, get it off your chest. I respect The Undertaker because he has said for a long time what his issues are with Hulk Hogan. He's let it be known for a long time. Don't come in after the fact. By the way, you never work with the guy. Shut the hell up.
Jim Ross, speaking of people who should shut the hell up, Jim Ross is on the Kenny McITR podcast. He said, Cornette's a brilliant guy. I'm sorry he had so many demands in his contract that he didn't sign with AEW and book the shows. He didn't want to travel. He didn't want to sit on a plane. If I owned a territory, I'd do all I could to hire Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette didn't want the job. Like, that's what they keep saying. They don't understand. He said, I'm not going to travel. Well, you're the booker. You have to. Well, I'm not going to. That's it, dude. Like, He's telling you he doesn't want the job. I don't need it. I don't want it. I've made enough money and I saved enough in my life. I don't need this anymore.
You're exactly right, Don. You're exactly right. They're Jim Cornette and JR. They're pipping the Queen of the Ring, the movie that they both have something to do with. Jim Cornette.
I am interested in this.
He's the commissioner of the NWA in the movie Queen of the Ring, the story of Mildred Burke, who at one point in time was the highest paid female athlete in the world. She was, some could argue, she was the first female wrestler in the pro circuit. Mildred Burke.
I will be watching that movie when it comes out.
In March. I think the first week of March it comes out. Camille's in it. Tony Storm's in it. It was supposed to be Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan playing those roles, but Vince, when he was in power, put the kibosh on that. That's how long ago this has been in the works, in the pipeline. And Jim Ross is a technical coordinator, I believe, for this show.
Whatever the hell that means. What you got to do? Sassafras. You want some JR's barbecue sauce, pal? That's a bunch of bullshit. They treated me bad down there, and yet Vince McMahon, I'm telling you. Look, I like JR, but I've never seen a guy bitch more in my life as an old man than I've seen that guy. That dude has bitched about everything that's ever happened to him.
He's got a lot of health problems, pal. He's got a frozen face,
I get that, but
bad prostate. He had skin cancer on his leg. He had Missy Hyatt climbing on top of him for a while there.
I don't know if you. Well, look, that was his high point for the last 5 years. I don't know if you read this or saw this or not, but JBL talking about JR, he openly talked about because it chapped his ass so bad, Vince McMahon would look for shit to get his goat. Just because he knew it got under his skin so bad. Like he'd leave you alone if it didn't bother you. But if it bothered you, well, now I got it in. I gotta fuck with him, pal.
What about the famous when they had the draft and he was drafted from Raw to SmackDown? He didn't even know it was coming. And neither did
the Undertaker, and that was the last time that happened because they had a serious talk from what I read after that.
Yeah.
Where he went and told Vince, "Don't you ever pull that shit on me again."
Yeah. Unreal.
I got my whole life going around this Monday Night Raw bullshit.
Going around it. Cornette interviewed Camille on his podcast.
Yes.
They were trying.
He tried to get something out about AEW.
Yes, but they indirectly. They come right out and say it, but she was not throwing any bombs towards AEW's way.
Nothing.
She just talked about the movie, and it was great working with Jimmy, and blah, 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 blah. And she's got a pronounced Southern accent, by the way. Who knew?
Yes, she does.
Who knew? Hopefully she could ride that contract out and go where she should be. She could be a big star. Jimmy Jacobs, former booker of AEW, writer backstage with Tony Khan, said he'd spend hours driving to shows talking wrestling.
Yeah.
With Tony Khan.
And he and Tony Khan would listen to Jim Cornette. Like, this is old news. I don't even know why this came out this week. This was old hat. This was known. For years, this has been known.
Well, Don, it came from the Kings of Old Hat, Wrestle Purists, that Twitter account, Wrestle Purist, the home of Elbow, or former home of Elbow. Ibu, whatever his name is.
Do you want to know how old that story was?
No, tell me.
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.